Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is February 2nd, 2022, so it's two.
It's two.
Oh
my God!
0.
Me too.
Me too. You too.
Too bad it's not on a Tuesday, though.
I know, right?
That's on the 22nd.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the 22nd.
it is.
So it is. Yeah, the 22nd
God.
is the 2. So there you go. You have all in a row.
Yeah.
But the 22nd is in 10 days.
The
I'm
20th.
So-
sure you're good at math.
20 days.
10 days.
I may not be
I
good
knew
at math.
that one.
Shut off the podcast! Shut her down! Hello, everybody.
Sorry, Dragon in the chat says February is a month to spell.
It is.
February.
February.
You
It's
got-
February 2! It's
Oh my-
Groundhog Day!
Oh my god.
I've got a day named after me. February 2! It's the fucking worst song that you'll ever see in a Rankin Bass short. God.
February 2. So yeah, welcome in everybody. We're going to be kicking things off as usual with food posts. If you'd like to submit a food post, what you're eating right now, what you did eat, some food that's been on your plate, we'd like you to send that to us. Hashtag SPP Foods will be the place to send it. But before we do that, I made a tweet a little bit earlier today that some of you may have seen where I was referencing that we have a big announcement for the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Now,
This is our
I don't think anybody else knows this except for you and me.
right, which it's almost, doesn't, I guess, need to be known
Right.
for anyone else but us. But as far as the viewers go, you guys will need to know this. So, upon many team meetings,
Me and Jeffrey.
we will be changing things up here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast.
I just got here. Oh God.
The times are going to be the same. The people are going to be the same. However, the location is going to be changing. So for the last couple of years, we've been hosting this on the ACRacebest YouTube channel. And Sarah is just far too sick of rendering 5-hour-long renders of our podcast. And then we're like, well, why are we doing this? We have a Semi-Perfect Podcast YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing starting now, as a reminder here, this podcast is making up for last week, which I don't even remember. Why did we miss last week?
Because you were working on Brony's rant.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, both of my wives, for reminding me.
I'm Saber's and Race's wife.
I always love when Saber refers to you as his wife, and then I'm the girl.
His mistress.
The mistress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the better wife.
Oh! The one he actually wants?
I'm
God. So,
no, the wife is the one you. No, that's so stupid. That's terrible.
So from moving forward, you see the link there in the chat for all of you live viewers. Go and subscribe, if you haven't already, to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Starting next week, because, again, we're going to be having, getting back on our regular schedule of every other week. But next week, we will be back, and it will be kicking off on the Semi-Perfect Podcast channel. And there's a couple obvious benefits to this. A, on our side, we don't have to render everything anymore.
Yeah, and it's better for you guys because you don't have to wait 50 million years to get, to rewatch the podcast or watch the podcast if you missed it.
So it's gonna work out both ways. But yeah, we just got to the point where we're like,
I'm just like, I've got too many things that I'm rendering on these computers.
With the gaming channel, Sarah's been like, I have hit my point.
I am at my absolute limit.
Yeah. So yeah, again, that's the only change. But just in case you come here next week and you go, oh, what the heck? Yeah. And I'm, we have a decent amount of subscribers over there, so many may already know, or be subscribed there. But this is again moving on to the future, and we'll obviously still post links and whatnot on Twitter. But there you go. So that is the big announcement. I wasn't gonna make. In fact, I wanted to mention that early, so because I'm probably gonna mention it again during the podcast. Yeah. But I just want people to make sure that they hear that, so they're not like, I'm so lonely here. No one showed up to the channel. So yeah, yeah. So that is that's the big update. Yeah. I also didn't want people like going through the whole show thinking like, is this it? Is this the last one?
No.
I'm like, is Sarah pregnant? Like, I was a bit like,
oh god.
What's happening?
No.
I think there's only one meeting.
Sarah loves it every time that's speculated. Great.
That's all I'm good for now that I'm married.
No, you're also a pretty good cook.
Oh, thanks.
That is true. That is true.
She cleans a hell of dust, I tell you that.
We got a super chat from Cheyenne's audio tape saying, "Hey y'all, I'm back. By the way, I'm film fiction famous now."
Film fiction famous?
Film fiction famous person in the chat.
Cheyenne's audio tapes is film fiction.
F. Welcome back, Cheyenne.
F.
I'm famous.
You too.
I'm famous.
Film famous.
I'm famous.
Film fiction famous. Yeah. Well, congratulations on your film fiction fame.
Yeah.
Let's jump into food posts.
Okay. We'll do that. Oh, I forgot to turn on that monitor. Can you do that for me, babe?
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you, dear.
I did good.
I'm gonna switch us over to the.
I baked a cake. I'm gonna post it into the chat here.
What kind of cake?
So I was very, very late getting Laura her birthday cake for her birthday. Because it's just been hectic these last 2 or so weeks. 3 weeks. Good God. Not but 2.5 weeks. And baked her an Earl Grey cake with lavender icing, and it's her favorite. And baking kind of intimidates me a bit because it's like, oh, flour, sugar, butter, like the mixer. In typical me fashion, I kind of overestimate it, but baked a cake and it looks very amateur-esque, but it tastes pretty dang good.
Good.
It was made with love.
Yeah.
It was made with love
that's
and lots of butter. I was like, actually, I don't bake often. I'm like, dang, I forgot how much butter is in this stuff.
Oh my god, it's all butter.
I'm like, there's a lot of
Like,
butter and
a shit ton
sugar.
of dairy pills.
Here, I'm posting the cake slices in the cast-only chat in case we open, if anybody wants to see it. And I tried making a purple icing, but the food dye made it look more kind of like, what's that?
It's pretty.
I don't know what you like. Kind of like a pinkish violet. But yeah, I mean, it's okay as far as a first time trying thing.
I think it's great.
I'm glad you like it. But I gotta say though, the cake itself, like the actual cake with the Earl Grey, like flowers or whatever, flowers, petals, leaves, yeah. The tea leaves, that was really good. It's like moist, but not overwhelmingly so.
It's also like he did a really good job because like it's so with like a lot of tea-based cakes, like the Earl Grey cake, there's a milk in it, and it's like hard to do that without making it like super dense and heavy. But like it's very light and fluffy, which is ideal.
Yay!
Nice.
Good job.
Very happy with the results. So yeah, that's my contribution.
Very good. Good job, Saber.
Thank you.
All right.
I expect a cake too.
Okay. All right, we got Cheyenne with chicken and rice soup before the stream. Can't wait to return to them. By the way, 1.5 Pegasisters strong.
By the way.
1.5.
Remember that argument?
Yes.
It's not a brony. You're a Pegasus.
And I was like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
You're a girl.
Oh,
Our girl starting up, I guess. I'm like,
I know-
Fuck you.
We're on a food post right now, so I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but I'm gonna, before I forget, it's gonna be. I know BronyCon's 10th anniversary was technically last year, but as far as like the actual big convention thing, 2012, that's gonna be this year for our 10th anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Really all to think about.
Wait, which big one?
Brony 2012 at Secaucus.
Oh, gotcha. And then the
Yeah.
next year will be the
That's
Baltimore
when I first
10
met
year.
Saber in person.
What's so funny about it is that I vividly recall seeing Paleo for the first time. And it's because we're both like little man children with both of our our
dad.
respective dads walking behind us, and being the cringe lord that I was and still am. I'm like, how do I say hi to this guy who I've talked to online for the last few months? And I said something like, "Paleo, you son of a bitch," and then my dad whispered behind me, he's like, "Steven, don't call him that." and
Not in front of his father.
Yeah, right. And I remember my dad during the convention. Like, I mean, I wish I can go. I wish I can walk through a teleporter or a time portal or whatever, and just watch my poor dad having to put up with this weird convention. I remember, like during the con, he was like, "Do you want to go watch that new Liam Neeson movie with the wolves?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna."
Gray?
Yeah, I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna go to a pony dance, Dad." I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
I still think it's weird that your dad went with you. Like,
Yeah, why did he go with you?
Well,
it's so bizarre.
he frequent flyer miles on his end,
Yes.
and it was. I feel like a lot of folks from our generation, we like this is why I like the Bernie stuff. It kind of gave like an arena for me to grow up in, where like prior to 2012, like yeah, I did college and I did the thing where I wash my clothes, go to school, buy my own food. But as far as like getting out into the world and travel, like I went to school like an hour away from where my family lived in Georgia, because my school's in North Georgia. But like conventions were like, yeah, you have to travel a lot. And I got used to that. Like my dad went with me the first time because I'm like, I've never flown by myself before. And he's like, I'll go with you.
Oh, okay.
We'll go up
You've
to
never flown.
we'll go to Jersey. We'll hang out. Why not? But yeah, I mean, like I remember like after like 2 or 3 years of doing the convention stuff, I'm like, airports don't scare me at all. They annoy me, but they don't scare me. Like
Yeah, they're annoying, all right.
The fucking worst.
now it's a well-oiled machine. But yeah, I guess just kind of I just having that moment like 2 days ago where I'm like, wow, like it's been 10 years almost since BronyCon 2012. It's been 84 years, and I still vividly recall that convention. I remember going to Chili's with Jax getting beers. I remember hanging with Joe Stevens and EQY, which I mean, I remember when I first saw EQY, and I'm like, wow, like this is a big deal. Like they know EQY is here. Holy shit!
Right.
Like,
That's how it was, though.
And I will never forget when I was like, I can't get into the convention center. The guards won't let us in. And I see Mike the Draft Bernstein with his like bear like lumbering walking towards me. He's like, "What? You can't get? Follow me. Just follow me." And he just walked right in, and the guy didn't even question it. And Draft's like, "If you walk with purpose, you'll think you belong. They'll let you in." And I was like, "I'm like, that was a good lesson because he's right. If you walk with purpose and confidence, people will just think you belong there. They won't. More often than not, they'll roll over." So I don't know, man.
Conventions are just like, Saber, shut up, shut up.
What's that?
Why? Because you're telling everyone to walk around with a purpose.
What? Walk with purpose. What?
All of them just start walking around. I deserve.
Everyone just walks backstage, like everyone.
Oh yeah, now
like everyone, like fucking like 30 people, just like, hey, I was.
Well, maybe it would have mattered. But yeah, I mean, confidence. I think that's the lesson. I know it's a tangent because we're doing food posts, but still, I've been very nostalgic for pony stuff, in particular this past week.
I was gonna say, like the reason we needed to get like past people is because we were doing documentary stuff at that time. Yeah, and like most of that convention, we were just filming like people in chairs, so we didn't actually go to the convention's floor that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we did, it was like getting wooden skewers thrown at us from like a woman. But
Paleo almost ripping a woman's head off.
The fun, it's wild to me. The angriest I've ever seen Paleo was the first time I ever met him, like in a week.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't there still a picture of that? Like, isn't there a picture of him
the,
on like?
The panel was online somewhere.
Yeah, there's like a picture of Paleo just like. What was that panel called?
It was just like the podcast panel, I think.
Yeah.
Podcast panel, BronyCon 2012.
And then also like, because my dad was in the audience for that, because I'm like, I'm on a panel, Dad, and he's like, I'll go there. I remember when the skewers are thrown afterwards. I'm like, did you see that? He's like, yeah, the bitch was crazy. I'm like, yeah, Milo Dash, was psycho.
Excuse me.
All right, tangents. That's what I'm going for it. All right, so yeah, I baked a cake. What else is going on?
It looks nice.
People have made dinner. Nathaniel Foga has breakfast for dinner, which includes a pancake, spicy egg, sweet potato hash,
We don't see it on the stream.
He says,
Oh, there it is. Never mind.
a Brenner?
Hams and bacon. Most definitely made for quite the tasty meal, if I do say so myself.
He's a Brenner person. Good old Brenner.
Spicy eggs.
Those look good. Yummer. Alright, we got Dragon. So how nice is it, and you won't be asked if when bronies react MLP new gen anymore. LOL. Anyway, tapped into my Final Fantasy 14 cookbook, messed it up a bit, leading into... God, I can't read.
I got this one.
Thank you.
So how nice is it you won't be asked if/when bronies react to MLP new gen anymore? LOL. Anyway, tapped into my Final Fantasy 14 cookbook, messed it up a bit, leading to tasty but tragically dry pork a few weeks ago. Then Sunday, for 3 meals in a row, I had eggs and corned beef hash. In good news, I, a 28-year-old, finally got my driver's license on attempt 2. Yay, especially since it was $28 plus $15 per attempt.
Nice.
It's a financial decision. Welcome to more freedom.
Yeah.
And expenses.
Yeah.
Look at that. Food.
Look at these.
Hash.
Nice.
Do you guys, are you guys hash eaters? Or is that like
as a Welshman, yes.
No, like hash. Hash.
Hash browns?
Oh, hash browns.
No,
yeah,
no,
I
not
love
hash browns.
Hash.
I'm just
So what is hash?
Like corned beef.
Corned beef hash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like corned beef hash. That shit's fucking good.
Okay.
I love it too.
So I think it's more of an Eastern thing then, because like it's not that big of a dish out here.
No.
Like when I see it, I'm like, what's that?
The only time we eat corned beef is for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
We like pastrami.
Yeah.
But corned beef hash just isn't, like I said, it's not a very popular breakfast meal out here.
But people don't like the saltiness, I hear. That's it.
I like.
Well, it's also like soft meat, and that might make some folks kind of apprehensive to it.
True.
I haven't had it.
I mean, we eat avocado toast, so soft.
Okay.
You guys, you can't afford corned beef hash. You're spending like money on gas.
I got anime.
Is it true? It's like $4.50 out there.
If you're lucky.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Like the cheapest gas station I've seen out here.
We should just drive to Arizona to get our gas.
We should. We should. The cheapest gas station in our area that I've seen is at like $4.35.
Yeah.
And that's if you pay with cash. It's $4.45 with credit card.
Yeah. I got Anime Guy 01. Got nothing tonight because I won't be eating till after the show starts. So here's some mac and cheese I had recently. It was delicious. Also, my new Kaiba Corp cup.
Kaiba. Nice.
Cheese.
Nice.
I like multi-cheese mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Brit. Already ate dinner. We reheated leftovers in my air fryer / toaster oven. But I am working on art of a mushroom witch and drinking a strawberry milkshake from McDonald's while I wait for the pod.
Nice.
That's cool art.
Nice.
You got an air fryer recently.
Yeah, air fryers are freaking dope, aren't they?
Dude, it's so easy. Like throwing bacon in there and like Brussels sprouts and just good stuff. Good
Dude,
stuff.
your chicken will taste so much better if you cook it in there.
Cake.
Like what kind? Like chicken breast, chicken.
Yeah, like chicken bread. Like you can I'll send you some recipes because like
Ooh.
I found like this whole thing that I was like, oh, this makes it so much better and like it tastes juicier than just like bacon this shit. It's good. I'll find it for you.
Please do. I would love to.
Yeah, let me find them.
We got Nora Mermaid. Yo, send my perfect pod. I'm having my current favorite snack, salt and pepper. I have like a bubble in my throat. Do y'all hear it?
Hello, Sarah.
Salt and pepper, skinny popcorn. If I'm suddenly quiet, it's because I'm reading Larson's book, trying to finish it this week.
That's right. Larson wrote a book. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys rock and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So I remember when Saber bought the first of the Penny Royal Academies.
Yeah.
It was just so we could talk to Larson about being on the MLP MSP 2014 Who's Line. It was the first time we ever ran Who's Line. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I gotta ask him, how do I get close? So he got in line, bought the book, and then after talking to Larson, he just tossed the book at Paleo and said, throw this away. All right, Larson, we need to talk.
I mean, I had to get some, so.
It was brilliant. It was a brilliant
I'm sure he
play.
appreciated it, too.
I mean, he did. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember now. Was that 2014?
Hello?
Yeah, it was 2014.
I'm trying to remember what he would have done on the 2014 one. I know he was on 2015. Because 2015 is when he pied Saber in the face at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Took one for the
Maybe
team.
that was the year.
Got Cheyenne watching Semi Perfect Pod with Twitch streaming Fallout 4.
Nice.
Pretzels, honey wheat pretzels.
Very good.
Oh,
I
got
don't
Dawson.
like honey wheat pretzels. They taste so plain. They annoy me. You know,
I
okay.
don't like them either.
So I've been thinking recently, what's something that you hate? I mean, we can revisit this later, but like, there's something like, okay, because there's things where it's like, oh, I hate that, like, you know, oh yeah, murder's bad, or you know, politicians suck. But there's something that's like,
petty...
where I'm talking about something where it's like, what's something that's like not inherently like evil. It's just a thing, but you hate it. Like
mayonnaise.
Cheese.
There you go.
Mayonnaise. Fucking despise mayonnaise.
I actually kind of love mayonnaise.
I fucking hate that. I gag whenever I see the shit. It makes me vomit. Like, ugh.
All right, I'll just say mine right now. I can't stand glitter. I despise glitter with every ounce of my being.
Herpes of the craft world.
Well, like even on like cupcakes and stuff, like the sugary stuff.
Piece of the craft world.
Think about it. It shows up once, it spreads, it's everywhere. You can't get rid of it.
No, me and Jeffrey, we did a joke for the G4 My Little Pony movie trailer reaction.
I had Sarah
where
chug.
we bought glitter, like, and I purposely bought the big like glitter that wouldn't, you know, just get absolutely everywhere. It's still dead. I threw it at his face, and when we were moving out, we were still like picking bits of glitter from the carpet.
That was like 3 years later.
Yeah.
Actually.
Hate it. Hate glitter. Whenever I open cards and I pull it out and I see glitter on my fingers, I'm like, fuck. I hate. I'm gonna rip this card in half. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's valid. So do you like hate it? Like if it's like if it's like a condiment that looks like glitter, like it's like food, like, you know, sugar. Like, do you hate that sort of glittery, like on cupcakes?
The edible glitter.
Yeah. I mean, that's not as bad because it's
just sugar.
It's a bit chunkier and it dissolves.
Okay.
But like glitter for like cards or like presents, like I just, as soon as I touch it, I feel it's like I'm repulsed by it. I'm like,
oh no, I know that feeling.
Sorry, I'm being very opinionated today.
That's
Wow.
valid.
Wow.
No more for me until it's topic time. I'm sorry.
I hate most fruit like that. Then.
Dawson, my pizza broke apart. It's Papa John's. Oh, and it's been a while since I've been sending these. Well, thank you for starting to send more food posts, Dawson.
Yeah.
Sorry about your broken pizza.
Broken food.
Broken food.
He broke
You
a
read that one
pizza
already.
and
Alright, Jory's got spicy kung pao chicken with fried rice and a few drinks to cool down with, and an update on the ankle. Off the medical boot last Monday, but have to wear a medical ankle bracelet for a few more weeks.
Now, I don't mean to
it's
correct
in the right
you,
direction.
but it's chicken with friend rice.
Okay.
Friend rice.
chicken with friend rice.
Is the best.
Chicken with friend rice.
The
Wait.
the best
Wait, is
kind
did
of
they just commit a crime?
Yeah.
Guys, this is cannibalism. That's not fucking good. Okay, what the hell is he saying? Okay, that.
Do you hate cannibalism too, Jax? Is that where you're going with this?
No, cannibalism actually has the potential to solve world hunger and overpopulation. So there you go. They called me a madman, but there you go.
Alright, I think that's all the food posts.
All right. Now, I'll state this again, just for anybody that missed it at the very beginning of the show. We mentioned earlier that there is a big announcement for the Semi-Perfect podcast, and that announcement is that the podcast will, from next show
week.
forward, which is going to be next week, we are hosting the show on the Semi-Perfect podcast YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be going live over there.
Yeah, so if you aren't already, head over there, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be hosting things over on that channel. So that's also where things are already posted for post, and now people don't have to wait 2 weeks to for the podcast to come out. It'll just be immediately ready for everyone's viewership. So.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yep.
That I don't have to render it.
It's again, like we said, it's the renders are just killer. Sarah, why don't we catch up with our friends?
Yeah.
Let's
Your
start.
friend rice?
Friend rice.
Why don't we start
Gosh.
with Paleo? Or
Hello.
actually, you know what, Matt, are you still waiting to do your laundry?
It's in the dryer now.
Okay, whoa, sneaky. Then yeah, let's start with Paleo. Paleo, what is new?
Stuff. I've been doing some things. Jax actually sent me, a couple of big Lego sets. Which
Yeah.
thank you again
Well,
for those.
what was funny about it though is I only
Yeah.
intended to send him one Lego set, but Amazon had sent me a message that said one of his things was lost in the mail, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, how'd you lose his shit? It's supposed to be a surprise. And so like I was like, no, refund me, like give me my money back. And they're like, okay, well we can refund you, and do you want to get another one? I was like, okay, yeah, just when can I re-get this one? Because they said the yellow one wouldn't be back in stock until like the end of February, and I was like, oh fuck, whatever. Like let me just look for something else. I was like, oh, that looks like a Nintendo. Dolphin Boy likes Nintendo. Get that one. And so I was like, yeah, that one then. And so they refund me, and I pay for that one, and then they send it. And then lo and behold, they both show up, and I'm just like, well, okay, shit, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jeff Bezos?
So Paleo, with Lego sets, do you is it like build it once and then leave it, or do you build it and then tear it down and then build it again?
If I have the space for it, I'll leave it. If I don't, I might put it back in the box for a while until I have a place to display it.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the Lego NES and also the Lego Super Mario 64 question block, which like opens up and shows like the different levels of Super Mario 64. But yeah, I was building those over the past week.
Laura built that big old Disney Castle Lego.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
and well, while I was building them, I was actually watching through some of America Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Movies. I only had a few left on that list, so now I've completed that list of movies.
You've done it.
Nice.
Is that that list doesn't change, right?
Yeah, that list doesn't change. It like came out in like I think the late 90s, and it hasn't changed since then, either late 90s or early 2000s. Like
Wait,
when it
so
was like
Iron Man 2 is not on there?
No.
Strange.
Iron Man 2 still kicks shit out of turn.
But yeah,
First.
yeah, that was I was watching those movies while I was building Lego. I was like, because building Lego takes a long time, especially for sets that big.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'll watch some movies while I'm building. And then also recently I got the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, which it's been very fun. I haven't had this much fun with a Pokemon game in a very long time. So I've been really enjoying that. Yeah, it's
because
like
they get
Mine's coming in the mail tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a combination of Pokemon, Breath of the Wild, and Monster Hunter. But it borrows a lot of different gameplay aspects from those games and melts them together, and the gameplay loop is very fun.
You can't throw hands with Pokemon; they just throw hands at you. So what kind of shit is that?
Yeah, they throw hands at you. They hit you.
I want the next one should be you can throw hands back. All right, I want that. Yeah, you can throw what at him, Laura?
You can throw stuff at him. You can throw like
you can throw stuff at him. You had like
man, that's some bull. I don't want to throw. I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna charge that shit and go, come on, YouTube.
Pokemon abuse. Well, good.
My money's on Jax.
I know. I would just Mewtwo? Mewtwo's not poison proof.
Well,
poison.
Speaking of Jax,
yeah.
What's new with you?
Not much. My program that I'm making for the New Year's coming along pretty well. Got artists working on it, and got Henry and a few other editors working on some stuff, so I can release that soon. So that's cool. Filmed a Tough Like the Tunes today for Master Chief, which was the most painful fucking thing I've filmed ever for Tough Like the Tunes. Like that armor was 30 pieces put together, and it was like so uncomfortable to do moves in them, and it was like every time I couldn't sit down in it. It was so like it was just pain. It was just pain, and I went filming. And I went filming in the place I usually film at, which is like this little forest area by my house. And I was just like, okay, this will be a cool place. But there was this guy in the car, in the parking lot, because it's a very like shut off place. Like no one goes there. That's why I filmed there. It's like the perfect thing for that. And he was smoking a doobie. And I saw him like smoking a doobie. And then I just like walked by him in this Master Chief outfit and my gun. And it was like, nod and then walk by, and then so like I was just wondering if he thinks like someone laced him with something. Like what the fuck did I just see this shit like that? Because I'm just like walking and I'm filming, and I'm doing like freaking push-ups and burpees and stuff like that, and it's just like you're smoking and you're in the full armor. Like I had filmed all this stuff and it fucking sucked, but I got the footage because pain is art and whatever. So like I got it done. So it'll be fun when so I'll have that done. But I just kept thinking of that guy like stoned out of his brain in the car, just watching me do the shit. Like he thought it was real or something like that. But yeah, he drove off, and then I finished it. My mom helped me. She helped drive me to the area because I could not drive in that shit. I couldn't. And then she like filmed some stuff for me, and then like I got the little head cam out to do first person shooter stuff. So that was cool. It was cool. So I'm looking forward to when that's edited. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, nice. Nice. I look forward to seeing it. PanamaMatt.
Yes.
What's new?
Oh goodness. Well, yeah. Those that tuned in early heard a bit about a mock trial team that I'm coaching. Unfortunately, we're out of the playoffs now, but they put in a great run, and it was a pleasure working with them. They took it on, and they gave a great show. Well, so that's been the majority of my non-work activities recently. Meanwhile, getting out with local folks around Orange and Tustin and other parts of Orange County, getting involved with the Chambers of Commerce over there, trying to grow the business, so to speak.
Good.
And having fun while doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing particularly noteworthy, but it's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry about the team.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. There is only one winner at the end of it all, and it's gonna happen. You know, unless you're that one, it's gonna happen eventually. I thought they did better than the score sheets did, but then again, I'm a bit biased.
No.
Yeah.
It's like when we play Left 4 Dead, and you're like, I shouldn't have lost by that much.
I should have got hit by that car that flew in the air 50,000 feet and then the atmosphere.
I feel like we're dogpiling.
Let's go to space.
The
re-entry you gotta watch out for.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Laura? What's new with you?
I don't know.
It's like we all know this question's coming.
Playing Pokemon as well.
Yeah, I'm playing Pokemon. But I got it a little bit later because I went up to visit family friends. My mom was visiting her friends, who are the family friends, and I went and met them like halfway and hung out with them for a little while and over the weekend. So I didn't start playing Pokemon until Monday. But yeah, I mean, not too much going on. Cool. I don't think of anything else.
That's all right.
Midnight Mass.
You finished Midnight Mass. I'd already seen it.
Oh, that was heavy. I'm trying to think what else we did. Yeah, I mean, kind of going into just vibe mode at the moment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Neat. What about you, Saber?
Working on videos, staying busy with projects, trying to eat a bit better. I say that after eating a slice of cake tonight.
Too.
There's nothing wrong with a slice of cake, Saber.
Yeah.
Jax, you don't get it. You don't understand. This isn't something you would get. All right.
I'm telling you from a health perspective, because I have so many clients. I understand better than anyone.
Would you know?
I know everything about it, Saber. I've been there for you since day one, and you know it.
Jackson, he's the doctor who spanked me and woke me up.
Exactly. I was there in spirit. I wasn't born yet, but I was there.
Has there ever been a joke before where it's like, I don't know where I got my BDSM, liking, and the doctor slaps the baby's butt?
I think I was in Family Guy. I think I was in Family Guy. One of the
okay. Actually, talking about that, like, I'm working on a video about, like, can cartoons cause fetishes? And I'm so, like, cautious about this topic because
I don't know. I imagine that they're there to begin with, and this just awakens it or like illustrates it in a way that makes it.
Well, I almost wouldn't even isolate it as being just cartoons.
That's the takeaway.
It would just be like, does media in general, because of course it influences.
Right, but I think cartoons in general, since they surround our childhood, and I think our childhood is when these things develop. That's why cartoons and animation has a big impact, and also animation can do a lot more things than live action. Because, like, I remember getting an email, and I'm, of course, leaving it anonymous because they requested to. But, like, a year and a half ago, person's like, I'm going to tell you about my inflation fetish because of 101 Dalmatian. I don't know. I guess I was the lightning rod. But the thing is, they told it not in a silly way, but a genuine way, where they're like, I don't know, like... They're just like, this is where I got it. This is where it came from. And it's weird, but, like, I just want to tell you that. And I'm like, huh. And that's what kind of inspired the idea of this video. Because I'm like, there's, like, okay, like, for midriff for me, like, the 2000s, got to the Jackson about this, where it's like, elite,
midriff, elite.
Starfire, like, Frankie Foster. I was like, good Lord. Like, I'm surrounded by cartoon girls with midriff, and I'm like, I like them all. So,
right.
I think this stuff shapes you. And what gets me the most, though, is, like, do we consciously decide this, or does our subconscious brain lump gray matter just go, that thing?
I think it's that thing. Like what you're saying with I think your subconscious brain just will go like, oh, that thing, like that right there. Because, like, I'm thinking of, like, certain...
feel good. Don't know what it does.
Exactly. Because, like, there are so many things that I think of, like, for, like, kink stuff, where it's just like, oh, yeah, that just happened, and it was like, well, am I into this? Oh, shit. Because, like, for instance, I always talk about the one, because it's super vanilla, but it's the thing I'm, like, super into, is that freaking, the makeout scene in the rain from Spider-Man. When I saw that as a kid, something in my brain was just like, that is the hottest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I want to do that. I just want, that is the only, I don't care about sex. That's the thing I want. Like, that shit, like, awoke something in me. So, like, that was... It just was random. Like, I remember it was like I had never thought of it before.
Like a switch goes on your brain.
Yeah. I did a studio lot tour with one of my girlfriends, and there is that alleyway that is part of the tour, and she was like, the lady doing the tour was talking about how they had to, like, stuffed cotton balls in Tobey Maguire's nose because he was basically drowning.
Oh yeah,
with the rain.
yeah, during that scene. Yeah, it makes sense because he's got rain coming down. He's got his
It's just like.
Yeah, I guess I'm just, it's a topic I'm looking more into, and it's,
Yeah.
I guess, more about the psychology of just like what makes us, like, I guess, vibe on stuff, whether it be consciously, subconsciously. I find it funny when people discover it later in life too. Like, it's not just your childhood, but like, I guess when we're little brains firing off our synapses, not sure of what we were doing or what we're doing. Like, your subconscious makes a lot of decisions with you not really knowing.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, who's driving the car? I thought I was. It's like, nope, we're turning left. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Also, you got an ass fetish now. It's like, oh, okay. I'm already afraid of YouTube about this one, but I actually kind of want to go to the campus nearby and see if I can talk to the psychology department and be like, can I interview people who know what the fuck they're talking about? Because I don't want to get in trouble.
I like that. I like that it's
on Wikipedia, and I have actually, Wikipedia is not a bad source by any. That's a stigma that should be. But sorry, tangent.
Well, yeah, I will say that Saber shouldn't have any problem finding somebody to talk to, considering he is Professor Pony.
I am Professor Pony. Professor Pony. Dr. Professor Pony to you.
Sarah.
Yeah.
What's new with us?
I have been doing some freelance for a toy design company.
Nice.
I just submitted my first timesheet for the entire month, so a good chunk of money's coming my way. And I'm like, yay, Disney!
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
So yeah, that's been nice. Just been very busy because I'm doing that on top of my part-time job. Hoping I can get a full-time position out of it. Thank you.
Go for it.
I think that's about it for me.
Yeah.
How about for you, babe?
Let's see. Well, obviously, a big chunk of the time between the last podcast and this one was finishing up the Bronies React, which came out on Sunday. Had a good premiere for that. Had a lot of good stuff to work with. So, as always, had a lot of fun putting that together. Yeah, squeezing in some, video games here and there, and prepping myself for what is upon us as of today, which is the Winter Olympics begin. So.
Yeah.
Oh God, is it that time of year?
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm so far out of it. Apparently, spending too much time networking.
Man, I could have told you that you're so far out of it.
So when climate change gets rid of snow
Everyone
completely, are they just gonna double up on the Summer Olympics?
It's artificial.
Saber, you're I don't think you need to worry about that anytime soon.
Oh, I'm not worried about the Olympics. Grace, actually, why the Olympics? Why are you such a diehard? Whereas you are a man of ritual and tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this one come from?
Yeah, this fetish popped up.
Well done.
Excellent.
No, so my family used to always have the Olympics on, the evening viewing of the Olympics, whether it was summer or winter. And there were certain sports that were like, oh, this sport's on. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And so I always enjoyed that. So there's a little bit, I guess, of that kind of nostalgia factor to it, of just remembering, enjoying watching the Olympics. But then one year, I think it was the year where I was going to school. I think I was going to community college, so I was out of high school. I want to say this was 2008's Olympics, and which I think was London Summer Games. And I decided, I'm like, you know what? At that point, you know, I forget when we finally got a DVR, but I'm like, there's all this space to record stuff. And I kind of committed at that moment where I'm like, I want to watch, like, all the events. Because, like, at the end of a lot of the events, they do, like, the recaps, which I really enjoy. But, like, they're talking about how, you know, they'll mention, like, amazing moments happened in these Olympics. Some of them were completely unforeseen. And then they mention some guy who had no chance of even making the finals ended up winning. And you know, it was stuff like that where it might not be a sport that's the more mainstream ones that you see on, you know, NBC during their 5-hour bracket. It was one that, that one aired on CNBC at 3 in the morning. But it was those moments where I'm like, I want to be able to appreciate those moments too. And like just hearing someone say this happened and seeing a brief clip of the person happy with their medal wasn't cutting it for me. I'm like, well, I want to experience that emotion of watching somebody go through this. Like, you know, these are like the pinnacle of these athletes' lives on the line, you know, trying to achieve.
They'll die if they don't do it.
Like it's.
Well, I guess this is like it's very time sensitive. It sounds so cutthroat.
It is. It's that's why. Like that's why. And so once I started doing it with the Summer Olympics, I started doing it with the Winter Olympics too, where I wanted to catch as much as I possibly could. And
it's all build up for the final montage that they always do.
So
because Jeffrey loves memorials or whatever montage videos like that, and pretty much everything that he's watching is to build up to that moment where he gets to cry.
Sarah can tell you. So they do this montage at the end of the NBC Olympics, and they've been doing it for I want to say almost 20 years now, where they take the Remember the Titans. Titan Spirit soundtrack, and they put this montage together, and it's hard to even find these online because of the copyright with it. But I love that they're like, but who cares? We're doing it for the broadcast, and oh man, like yeah, like those are I live to see moments like that, and again like compiled. That maybe that's part of where like me doing the memoirs came from, was like these recaps in a way. So,
well, it's gonna be really awkward when like the Ukrainians or like the Russians keep putting their like stuff in our room. Like
technically, Russia, big quotations, isn't there. The ROC, the Russian Olympic Committee, is there. Or I forget what the. I think that's what it stands for. Basically, it's Russian players underneath a banner that isn't actually Russia. Because Russia got in very big trouble with the Olympics, with doping and whatnot, and the Olympics were like, how about you take like 6 years off? Or 6 Olympics off?
Meanwhile, the athletes are like, that's bullshit. And that's where the ROC came from.
Right. Well, they don't ban, let me rephrase that. When a country gets in trouble, it doesn't stop the athletes from participating. They just can't participate under their own flag.
Athletes can. I mean, it's still kind of tough because you probably want to represent your country and be a hero, but still, like, at least the athletes don't lose their one chance. So at least there's some kind of respite to it.
Right. It's literally punishing the body as opposed to the individuals who, by the time they come along, because you know, for many sports, it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna see this athlete in 15 Olympics. Like for some of them, they have one shot, and
where is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I that was basically done. Were you asking where it is?
Yeah, where is it this year?
So luckily this year it's in a very uncontroversial country named China.
Well,
yeah,
that's it's great. That's great.
It's in Beijing.
Coincidentally, wasn't that the first like Summer Olympics that you said that you watched like all the way through for like 2008? Because like that was like the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics.
Was 2008 Beijing or was 2012 China?
I think it was.
I thought 2008. I think the London Olympics was the first one I watched.
2012 was London, I believe.
Okay, in that case, it was 2012 that I watched all the way through. China, the 2008 one. Then, if that's the case, then that. Oh, you know what? That I think that does make sense because I don't remember as much. I think from that one. So yeah, if it was 2008,
I know like 2016 was Rio.
Yeah. So I just remember.
You know how I know this?
How do you know this?
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Oh
my god. That's
Oh yeah, that'll do it. I was gonna say for the I always remember which Olympics it was, being the London ones. Obviously, I forgot the year, but is because I remember that was my first time watching one of the. They do those really long cross country bike races, where like they go, they start at point A and go all the way to point B, and they go through all these different regions of the countryside and the city and all that, and I remember just like it was like, oh, this is cool, and it was like my first time ever actually seeing it, and I'm like, whoa, it's like NASCAR on bikes, great. So
you just wait for the big one to happen.
There's a super chat related to what you're talking about.
Anime Guy 01 saying, whoa, I just got massive feedback. Anime Guy saying, will you play M and S at the Olympic Games sometime?
Mario and Sonic.
Mario and Sonic.
Yeah, there's a game on Switch.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah.
Possibly.
I wouldn't say no. I didn't even know this existed. I was like, M&S?
Yeah. It took me a minute to...
we had some other super chats earlier. Yeah. One from Cheyenne's audio tape saying, my book, Blood Fusion, officially published 3/18/21.
Nice.
Congrats.
All right, almost a year out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Anime Guy also had said, and this was earlier referring to you, Jax.
Oh, yeah?
Jax Dropkicks
Adiden. It's a
yeah. Realistically, a Metapod would probably fuck me up somehow, and then I would come back and get revenge on that shit.
You'd stub
just like,
your toe on the Metapod, and that's
the
worst.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get revenge.
Stubbing your toe? That's pretty painful.
That is pretty painful, yeah.
Mm-hmm. God.
Well,
the
Sarah?
Metapod used Harden. He just doesn't care.
Do we have a list of things today?
I do. It's right here. If you wanted to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking. I am not setting. Okay. So, I see the SPP announcement is that. Yeah. I guess we could check that one off. Check. So Sarah had it on here to discuss Brony's React, which, like we said, aired this past week. So certainly hope everyone had as much fun watching it as I did putting it together.
As long as it was, it certainly didn't feel that long.
I appreciate that. I saw a lot of people at the end saying, like, that felt like 30 minutes. How is it 2 hours? And that feels really good, to see that people were able to enjoy it, and it helped the time go by. I had like kind of goals in mind for how long I wanted to have the project be, but I set those goals before I even start editing. And oftentimes it's like, there's cases where it's like there's some stuff that I could shorten up, but in some cases it's like there were some things that I just really wanted to leave in. And I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Damn it. It's an hour-and-a-half movie we're reacting to. It's okay if it's a 2-hour react.
Dragon in the chat asks, when is Matt going to be on Brony's React?
Okay, so funny story. Matt was offered a spot on the first ever Brony's React. The first one I ever made. I said, Matt, and it's funny because I forgot where I explained this once, but I said it, and I'm like, after I heard how I said it, it must have been on a panel, where I said that I was looking for numbers, and I realized, that probably sounded like I was saying like subscribers or like popular people. Yeah. Where literally what I meant was I was looking for people to be in the video. And at one point I'm like, Matt, I need someone. else. I'm trying to have a certain. I forget what my goal was of how many people we had, because I know we ended up with 6 total. But Matt was like, "What did you say?"
I appreciated the offer. I just prefer to be behind the camera.
Yeah, I think.
I said I told him that no, this thing's gonna take off. I don't know that I want that much like publicity or popularity.
Yeah.
Were you a lawyer at that time, Matt?
I don't know. What year was that?
That was 2012.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, nice.
Matt was. I remember telling Matt, like, Matt, seriously, how big do you think this is gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna go.
And
I told you.
And he refused. He's like, no.
Yeah, no, this is gonna take off.
So
I'm happy to film it, but yeah.
Yeah, I would wrangle Matt into recording some really weird videos. That did end up on the
We
YouTube
don't talk
channel.
about those videos.
Oh, I am. I repaid the favor. I filmed your commercial.
That was the trip. Perhaps 1 year, for April 1st, we can talk about letting that come out on your channel.
The commercial?
Yeah.
No, I think I deleted it out of rage.
Oh.
Matt was like, this is the shittiest possible version of any commercial I've ever seen. And I'm like, but Matt, it's artistic.
There was a plant in my office, and there were at least 3 shots from the angle of the plant.
It was a nice plant.
Cam.
It was a plant cam.
Oh,
I had a vision.
Get glasses.
They do not respect my vision. Oh well.
My guy says Matt could take over Sarah's original spot, which was off to the side.
There's no way I could replace Sarah.
Well, who's gonna be the voice off to the side, Matt?
I'll just kick Sarah back off. But yeah, no. Again, had a lot of fun putting that together. It's always such a thrill for me to work with the people that I get to work with, yeah, it was fun to put together, and I knew I wanted to get it out before HarmonyCon, which is in a couple weeks. So that was kind of my goal objective. There was kind of setting that into motion. So yeah. And speaking of the Bronies React, as you guys are probably used to by now, there is a bonus, and it's going to go live tomorrow. So I finished editing that together, and it also is lengthy. It's about 35 minutes long, but nice. it's us going through topics, some of the usuals as far as what we liked or disliked about the movie, overall thoughts, and then we also get into
bloopers.
Well, there are bloopers.
Yeah.
Favorite character from the movie, so you can find out officially whose was from whose. And it's funny because even when I watched my footage, because we filmed it the night it came out. We filmed the movie the night it came out, and yeah, I was like, oh, I wasn't as sure as I think I am now. So that's interesting. But yeah, and then we also talk a little bit about our thoughts of the eventual to come upcoming show. And even then, it was stuff that we were basically discussing very close to the movie coming out. So we may have found out stuff that we didn't even know at the time. So you get a very fresh take.
Space in the chat says the original Bronies React turns 10 years old on February 15th.
I know. I half was like, maybe that's...
Yeah, wait a couple more days and get it on the anniversary.
Well, see, now that's just the thing, right? Is because that would have had me release it, I think, 3 days before HarmonyCon. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, no, I don't... Because what I didn't want to do was release it and then bury it in vlogs.
Yeah.
I wanted to breathe a little bit. So, yeah. But yeah, 10 years. Jesus.
A decade.
A whole decade, guys. 10 freaking years. Matt, does it bother you that 10 years ago, probably to the day, I was saying, Matt, You want to be in my video?
Doesn't bother me at all. I'm flattered that you gave me the opportunity, and you know, from a marketing perspective, it would have been nice to get my name out there, but that's a selfish reason to do a video. And I'm thrilled it's become what it has.
The lawyer that was on Brony's Racked.
Yes.
That's his billboard.
Loyal to the brony community.
In some cases.
Again, those are not my stories to talk about.
But yeah, we'll definitely talk more in regards to the 10-year anniversary of the first Bronies React.
Yeah.
So yeah. Here we go. What do we got here? Drummer Shy just sent a super chat saying, "Can't wait for HarmonyCon. So excited to drum for Loudsdale again. Hopefully you'll record some of the concert throughout weekend on your vlog. It's looking to be super hyped. Can't wait to see y'all there." Nice, Drummer Shy. Drum your heart out, dude. I don't yet know, as is with every convention, where exactly anyone and everyone's going to be, but I always do enjoy hitting up the concerts. And I always call that my brony workout, is jumping up and down at those things.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then so yeah, have fun with that. And then Anime Guy says bronies react with a real lawyer.
Well, what's that show?
To a real lawyer, which is basically what happens when we play Among Us. Which you can find on the Ready Player Dumb channel.
That is true. Oh man, some of those are such a mess.
Oh. Why do I turn into such an asshole when I play that game?
I don't know.
Like I watch the replays and like, dude, I'm a dick.
You're not yourself when you're Among Us.
Oh, that's a good tagline. Oh man, yeah, like Matt said, you could catch those on Ready Player Dumb. Speaking of Ready Player Dumb, we also have I think a new game coming out in 2 days.
Yeah, Friday. We're gonna be diving into Birth by Sleep. And then when
tomorrow?
Friday.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm an idiot. What day is it?
I wish tomorrow was Friday.
Yeah.
I always want tomorrow to be Friday. Or maybe I don't. No, maybe I don't want.
It would be Thursday. That would suck.
Ew, fuck.
Yeah.
I want tomorrow to be Sunday, and not for the reason that people want it to be Sunday.
Paleo wants to go to church.
No,
no. To pray to God.
No. I was talking about the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Like we said, go to church.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be a trailer for Jurassic World Dominion releasing during the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
Is that next Saturday?
Can't wait for the dragon.
Next, yeah.
Yeah, next Saturday.
No, it's on Sunday, I think.
Sunday, sorry, yeah.
I like this one.
Next Sunday.
Next.
Oh, okay.
Is it next Sunday or this Sunday?
And it's not this Sunday, because this Sunday in Los Angeles is the Clash. NASCAR's...
The Coliseum?
NASCAR at the Coliseum, which they're doing...
Okay, so it's next Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the Super Bowl being like the first weekend of February.
I don't pay attention. I just find out the Super Bowl's on tomorrow, and I go, oh. God.
Time to get wings and hot dogs and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. Time to... Yeah. Time to yeah. I'm pretty sure I usually go to like Disneyland on Super Bowl Sunday. Not now, because Disneyland can't figure out their shit.
Like
Dragon.
normally.
Yeah.
Dragon asked in the chat, "Oh, Birth by Sleep, is that releasing, or are you starting to actually play it?" Where it's going to be released. So we've played.
We are working our way.
Yeah. We've got the old couch in there, honey.
So for those wondering,
That's gonna
what
be
we
the
do
last
is
Kingdom Hearts.
back specifically for this one.
we keep bringing this big couch upstairs to record.
No, that's gonna be the last Kingdom Hearts on our old couch.
Is it the last game on our? No, there's one more.
There is one more coming soon as well. After I forget when we said we were gonna release that, but
it was gonna be sooner, and then there were a couple movies coming out.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh.
Yeah, we're doing some movie-related games. Like as of right now, we're playing Uncharted. It's being released on the channel.
Nice.
And yeah, because the new Uncharted movie's coming out March. I forget, either this month later or in March. But
eventually.
I forget.
I want to say February, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is also going to be coming out, and we're going to be playing a game or two related to that.
Yep. Yep. I can't imagine what game it would be. So yeah, let's see. What else do you have here, Sarah?
I have stuff, but I mean, I feel like last couple of podcasts we haven't had a lot of time to do Q&A. So if we wanted to talk about the things that I put here, because
Encanto, I have a question about Encanto.
Okay.
For the people who've watched it, like Laura, I know you're there too. You mega fan. Okay, so all right, so can we talk Encanto?
Yeah, I can pull up a spoiler screen. I've got.
Yeah, spoiler screen. Yeah, because this has been bothering me. Okay.
I just can't wait.
Oops, that's the wrong thing.
Getting into it.
Says Encanto.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Well, it says Encanto.
Yeah, fucking Ghostbuster, that stupid.
Just put
I
up
thought I had-
Ghostbusters and type Encanto.
I need like fucking binoculars to see this monitor from across the room. I thought I had. Shit. hold on.
Why didn't we get a
Spider-Man, yeah.
Did
So
we find out we
anyways,
couldn't?
when Venom showed up.
Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out.
I think we could put
My
it.
Encanto spoilers are gone. I had a whole it had the
Hey,
Lego Encanto stuff.
Spider-Man's the same movie, so it's the same thing. They all have superpowers. It's
Yeah, it's the same.
yeah.
Wait, what did your spoiler screen have?
Like it had the Lego Encanto set on it.
I love that.
Mhm.
Alright.
Lego
I guess-
Encanto.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh,
I
Sarah.
guess I deleted it. I don't know.
Oh.
The screen says Encanto spoils, but then when I click it, it has Ghostbusters all over it. Alright, I'm just gonna change
The ghosts. They were like, yeah.
It's a F now.
Everybody's probably like super confused right now of what's happening on the screen. Alright. Encanto. Oh, no, that's not the right spelling.
Enchanto.
Enchanto.
Encanto.
Encanto.
Okay.
I love you, Encanto.
Encanto, it's only a day.
Alright, Jax. What's your
Alright.
question?
Okay, this is for both y'all, okay? Or like Saber too, all the people. But like when I was watching this with Paleo and Hero, they know what it is because I brought this up, guys, because it's been bothering me. Alright, so Dolores' superpower is super hearing, right? So like she can hear everything,
Yeah.
and then like in the song, she's talking about like and like the song she's talking about like the character Bruno. Everyone's like, oh, Bruno is like he's a fucking like jinx and shit like that. He's like this bad guy, whatever. We don't talk about Bruno and shit like that. And like I know they don't talk about Bruno and all that, right? But they establish in the movie that she can hear him, and she is a blabbermouth. So it's just like so he was in the walls right then and there. It's like so you could hear him in the walls, and you're a fucking blabbermouth. You proved that you were a blabbermouth. So why didn't you ever bring it up? Like that's just like it's right there. It's like he's right there, and you're.
I have an answer about this. Actually.
Okay, I'm here.
Well, you know the golden rule, right?
Well, we don't talk about Bruno.
No. The golden rule is Silencio Bruno.
Silencio Bruno. What?
Yeah, I mean, because like at the end of the movie, she's
That's
like,
what Luca taught
I knew
us.
he was here. I heard him every day, and I was like,
well, why didn't you say that? Because like the way, because it's like the way the family was talking was like, oh, he left. he went away, and then she's like whispering like, oh yeah, I can hear him every single day, and it's just like, well, you hear him every single day, like.
I have a theory that Abuela was just like, you better not say anything.
Oh.
He's still here.
That's stupid, Dragon Buckner. No, that's saying like, oh, just because she can hear. No, she has mega hearing. Like, she has some fucking X-Men level shit. So she could be like, oh, yeah, there you go. So, no, I'm not buying that for a fucking second. So, no. Okay, well, more we... Oh, go ahead.
So I'm fairly certain. I mean, like, she was a blabbermouth about one thing that we know of, and it was because it was actively affecting everyone. So I'm not sure if that necessarily paints her as being a blabbermouth in general. But I do believe that there was like a lot of just like pressure on her just in general of like, oh well, everybody hates him, so I probably shouldn't, like, especially as like a little kid growing up with that, being like, oh, everyone hates him, so I probably shouldn't tell them that like he's right here because I don't want to get in trouble. Because as a kid, that would be my immediate thought, would be like, oh, if I say something and it means he comes back and ruins everybody's, you know, lives, then it's my fault and I'm going to get in trouble. And Abuela hates him, and she's like, you know, our like matriarch, and just, I don't want to rock the boat, so I'm just going to stay out of it.
Okay. Okay.
Silencio, Bruno.
Silencio. Okay. And Baylor, what was the one you said again?
Oh, about Abuela?
Yeah, you know, it was like you said, like your like Abuela was just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because like she's the matriarch. She wants to try to keep the family in tow. Where like you see like, oh yeah, like Luisa, she has to do all the chores and be strong or whatever. Isabella has to be perfect. So I'm guessing that like, oh yeah, we do not talk about Bruno. Like that is just a family.
We do not talk about Bruno. Okay. Well, I'm the person we're not talking about. I'm just going to let you know that you don't want him to be talked about. He's kind of right there. Like, fuck. Yeah. But just do it like Voldemort. He who should not be named is right there. Okay. Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about Encanto,
spoilers ahead. Just a reminder for
the screen's up, yeah.
It's been up for a while. I was just gonna say, avoid spoilers, everybody. Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about spoilers. So what did everyone think of Encanto? Did you guys enjoy it? Sarah?
The more I've watched it, the more I've liked it.
I like it. It's a good film. I like Luisa.
Yes. Buff girl. She's my wife.
Excuse me? What, Sarah?
She can step on me anytime.
Oh.
Yes, Sarah. Let's get stepped on together. Yes. Yeah.
It was very nice to see a muscular woman.
Yes, it was.
And she's doing all the moves that she's doing.
Yeah, she was. That freaking song.
Cranked out one of those fans, you know?
That's valid. So it's funny, like, so many people have been talking, because, like, Hero brought it up, and then, like, on this other podcast group brought it up with Double Toasted about, like, what was the songs that Lin Miranda, like he like the way he does, like he has like a certain like beat to his song, so it's like, oh, and now this is the song, and dun 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 dun, and shit like that. It's just like, oh crap, and someone did like a compilation. I was like, oh fuck, why did you say that? This is a fun movie though, fun movie. Luisa's the best character, love her.
Call me crazy, but
you're crazy.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Like,
eat your oatmeal.
So like. Having now seen a couple of his works, being Lin-Manuel Miranda, I've come to accept that if I'm ever going to see a movie that has a song written by him, there's probably going to be at least one, probably two songs where I'm going to go, I don't know what the fuck anyone's saying, but they're saying it fast. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Sarah, you better go to me. Would you be I think that was the name of my favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean it was a charming movie. I felt I feel like it was one of those where like this is a movie where they just constantly put the beat down on the main character. They're like, "Oh yeah, you suck because you didn't get magic, and now you suck because you still don't have magic, and now you suck because
You're trying to save our magic.
yeah, fuck you, lady." And she's just like, "No."
I'm just trying to help. Yeah, what's funny is like all the people who are Spanish descent, like the film, like I've seen like just so many of them post like, yeah, no, that shit is real with a abuela, like that shit is so legit, like it is so on point, and just like damn.
Did she threaten to throw a sandal at anyone in that movie?
No.
Oh, chinchilla. Oh, not chinchilla. The friggin'
The chinchilla.
the chinchilla. What is it called?
La Chancla.
Chancla.
La yeah, that thing.
They did in Coco. The Granny in Coco did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But not in this movie.
Okay, so they've already hit that. They've already done it.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, it like I don't know. That's just whatever people think of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, did anyone not like the movie?
Yeah, it was kind of bullshit. Like that Louise wasn't in there most of the movie. She was only in there like she needs to be like on the screen for all the sets of the movie. I don't care.
Should have been the main character.
She had like a really good and heartfelt song that like I feel like a lot of people can really connect with. And then the rest of the movie, like her like sadness is played off to be kind of like a joke, where it's like they're over exaggerating it, and it's like I'm just like, well, god damn it.
Did you see the way that she worked all those asses?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
well,
I mean,
oh, because they're donkeys.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
To be fair, like as far as like the humor goes with Louisa, and where she like can't lift stuff, if I saw Jax doing that and crying, I would laugh.
Yeah, and I would kill you afterwards. I would kill you.
Nora Mermaid sends a super chat saying, as a Latina, I never related more to a movie. I even see my family in this movie, fave Disney movie of 2021.
Cool.
And then For Canyon sends a super chat as well, saying, if that magic candle is magic, then that means the lesson of the movie is that friendship is magic because harmony powers the candle.
There you go.
Oh my god!
It always comes back to those damn horses.
It's like that Fraggle Rock video that Paleo retweeted.
Yeah.
Sarah, did you where was this movie for you?
It's a good movie. I enjoy it. I watched it recently, actually, when I was sick with a fever around New Year's. I was just like, I'm feeling horrible. I'm gonna watch Encanto to make me feel better.
Was I not here?
You were here. You were doing your live stream or whatever.
I was live streaming when you were sick?
Yeah, well, I didn't know I had a fever until I took my temperature later.
That was no fun. We did not enjoy that.
No.
Part of the kickoff to the year.
Yeah.
We're getting a bunch of super chats right now.
Yeah, related to Encanto. Anime Guy 01 sends a super chat saying, "We don't talk about Bruno has passed Let It Go and has become the #1 Disney song of all time."
Wait, has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 1 billion views?
A lot. Yeah. It's past it.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wait, let me see this.
Is that the one that goes...
As far as the Billboard charts goes.
Oh, okay, because I'm looking at YouTube.
Not on YouTube. We're talking about like Billboard charts of like as far as like airtime.
Oh, okay. We're all YouTubers here, so we talk about real shit.
The last time a Disney song reached #1 on the Billboard charts was
Lion King?
with Aladdin.
Oh.
Yeah, with A Whole New World.
I fucking hate that song too.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking despise that
Don't
song.
you dare close your eyes.
Oh god.
Hold your breath. It feels better.
It gets better.
Oh.
But yeah, I think the reason
into that.
Yeah, I think the reason, because it didn't really get to #1 until like in the last month, is because when the movie first came out in November, it wasn't really getting that much traction. But when it came out on Disney Plus on Christmas, like people started playing it a lot, and then people started playing the songs a lot. So
yeah, that's what happens. Like you can just like replay it as many times as you want to. So it's just like,
yeah.
Right.
Well, I didn't see it in theaters either, so like, come on,
same.
together.
I'm confused. How does a song that I don't hear anyone reference top Let It Go, which no one would shut the fuck up about?
I mean,
Yeah, Race. I kind of like. I'm wondering that too, because like again, like that freaking We Don't Talk About Bruno song, great song, phenomenal song. But I'm just like, I haven't heard from, I guess, the normies as much them talking about it as like Let It Go. Like Let It Go, I heard that like freaking mainstream every single where. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Doubt.
talking about it, and there's playing it endlessly on repeat.
right. True.
Yeah.
It's such a
They're
funny.
too busy listening to it,
But
to talk about.
I guess it's funny to me
Right.
because it sounds like such a specific song. It's literally
Yeah.
called "We Don't Talk About Bruno."
It just slaps though.
Yeah.
They don't
Like-
talk
like
about it.
Lisa?
That's why it goes with the song. There you go. We just found it. Yeah.
It's funny because like Bruno later in the movie like references "Let It Go," so
Yeah.
It does.
Let it go.
which
Let it
Disney,
go.
Disney has been doing that a lot of like referencing Frozen since it's like their popular movie of the 2010s.
Yeah.
And
You know what
and
made me
now
sad though?
I feel like they're gonna try to do that with Bruno like in
Yeah.
future movies.
You know what made me sad though in Encanto is like when Luis is talking about Hercules, they didn't use Disney's Hercules. That would have just been like so right there. Like it's just like
Yeah, it's also I saw somebody who was like, "Oh yeah, Luca got ahead of the curve on that one as far as like referencing Bruno, like Silencio Bruno."
They were gonna call him Oscar.
Oscar.
Trudy! Get you.
Hey there, wanna sit in my trash can?
I've never had a rat in my
Yeah.
trash can
And then
before.
they gave Lynn a list of names, and he chose Bruno because it had the most possibilities for lyrical
Rhyme.
value. Yeah.
Well, that's just lazy writing, Lynn.
We don't.
Not to talk about the Bruno.
Yep.
Well, cool. I mean, we certainly. Anyone else have more thoughts on Encanto that you'd like to share while we have this up?
Encanto.
Encanto.
It's real good.
It's the best Lin-Manuel Miranda musical that I watched in 2021.
Yeah.
There were like 4.
And
It's probably got the
go ahead.
best. It's probably got the best cinematography and videography so far in a Disney film.
There's a lot of really good shots.
It was
Yeah.
very good.
there was like no actual. I mean, like there was an antagonist, but there wasn't like a villain. Like it was just like,
Right.
oh, my grandma's being a dick, like whatever. Like
Which I'm okay with that though. Like you know, like not every movie needs that twist, so to speak.
yeah.
Like
Well,
it's kind of the same thing. What's that?
It's also nice to have like, hey, here we have problems and we can address them in a way that's healthy, and this can still be a good story. Like you don't always have to have somebody that's like out to get people. It's like it's okay to talk about your feelings when things are normal.
Yeah, like it's. I feel like it's valid in any regard, whether you go this side with no villain, the middle where like is kind of your more twist villain of you don't know who it is until near the end, or having the villain that's just up in your face from the start of the movie, which I feel like those older school villains, at least in some regards, were the ones that like they were able to have a lot of fun with too, because
Yeah.
Hello, I'm evil. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, would you see any of these new fucking villains in fucking House of Villains that was on House of Mouse, and that was a Halloween special, and it was just like fucking. What was that guy from fucking Frozen? Like him, just like, yeah, Jafar, let's fucking fuck with this mouse, okay? It's just like, shut up, you bitch. I'm the one.
well, I could see Bellwether.
Bellwether.
Of course you could.
Yeah, of course. And then like, of course. But she'd be pretending to be like, oh, what is going on with all these villains, guys, and shit like that. It's just like,
fear always works.
All right.
Always.
Well, Sarah, you have another thing on here
Yeah.
that will require a spoiler screen.
Yeah.
And we will discuss amongst ourselves if everyone's ready to tackle this one. So Sarah will put it together, and then obviously before we start discussing, is there anyone here who has not yet seen the new season of ACRacebest and wants to?
Unfortunately, I've seen it.
Should I leave? Is it really that good?
It's I mean,
Yeah,
are you currently like walking or watching your way through, Matt?
I didn't realize it had come out yet. I finished season 3.
Oh, okay.
So I've
Yeah, you should just watch. You can burn through it in like
Yeah,
like
log into
relatively
my
fast.
Netflix.
To be fair, he's ahead of schedule.
Yeah, you
This
just
is true.
yeah, Matt, just log into my Netflix and watch it when you can. But it's up to you if you want to listen or
Yeah,
whatever.
if you want to avoid spoilers.
I'll come along for the ride.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so again, from this point forward, we will be discussing ACRacebest. I'm just really trying to emphasize this. Season 4 spoilers. And yeah, once the screen goes down, then you'll be safe.
I think there was a super chat.
Did we miss a super chat? Oh yeah, we did miss a super chat. From Four Canyon saying, strange. Last time I didn't even realize that this was an Encanto related thing because we scrolled by it. Strange. Last time I was in Kanto.
Watched Encanto? I was playing Pokemon Red, though I suppose Pokemon Gold counts too.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, we missed that from
Yeah.
Canyon. Sometimes I do that with movies I'm watching,
Yeah.
where I'm like, I'm going to multitask. But I also try to be
Yeah, that's what I was doing when I was building Lego earlier.
Right.
Like, yeah.
It's, yeah. Unless I'm at a movie theater, I find it harder to just sit and watch a movie and not be doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
ACRacebest Season 4, aka Haida, just keeps getting worse, and I don't know when it's gonna stop.
No, like seriously, I had to stop
Get
watching after the first episode, like for like a bit. Like I took a break from the first. That first episode pissed me off so much. I was like, I need a breather. Like I need to get some work done or something. Like I was just like, are you fucking serious? And then the first, like, I think like what was it? The first, because I'm just gonna be upfront. There's some things in the season I did like I like this stuff with freaking Tone. I like that. I like this stuff with what's Katie's boyfriend's name?
Zach?
Zach is a donkey. What's that one's name?
Tadano?
Tadano, yeah. So yeah, I liked him. Then I didn't like that one black guy who came in who was like a pony guy, but it was weird. There you go, Hero. Yeah, Hero, we're talking about ACRacebest Season 4. Yeah.
Yeah, we just started talking about it.
Yeah, okay. Pretty much, I like that. But most of the other stuff, it just felt like it was dragging to me. I was not that invested. There's a bunch of stuff that just had me rolling my eyes, like, really? So, for me personally, it just didn't grab me for, like, other seasons have. So, I didn't care for this season that much, personally.
It reminds me of when I watched an online web show called Salad Fingers.
Oh, Salad
Oh, wow.
And we got my dirty words.
In that it's the kind of thing that you go, man, I don't want this suffering to continue, but I really gotta see what happens in the next episode.
Yeah, we binged it while we were staying at the Grand Canyon.
And honestly, it's probably good that we binged it because, my God, is some of that stuff like I forget how soon it was. Maybe it was in the first episode where I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?"
Yeah, when he chokes.
Like it's so frustrating. There comes a point where you go, you know what? Fuck you. You don't get this.
Yeah.
You don't. And besides, I feel like we've already had hundreds of discussions of whether or not they'd actually be like good for each
Yeah.
other.
They're
Right.
not. They both don't
They're not.
communicate with each other. They fucking lie to each other all the time. They don't trust each other. They're fucking horrible as a couple.
Yeah.
Fenico be better for him. Still gonna say it.
Literally, like, when they got together, I threw my remote. Not like
Yeah.
threw, but yeah, you know, like when you just toss something up, you're just like, oh, fucking course, man. Just like tossed it into the
They had
air.
like one good date where things were great, and then everything else just was in the shitter.
What the
Yeah.
what the fuck's going like and the whole thing there like as he's doing his shit. So I genuinely thought that when they were like, "Oh, we need to get this this floppy disk from him," and
USB.
what?
USB, it's not
Yeah, floppy
1990.
We have that '90s kid brain where it's like everything was a floppy disk.
It's
So it's just
floppy
like,
disk. But yeah, no, like they had this USB, and you know, I thought that this was gonna be like such a big moment, because what I thought they were gonna find out was that like it was something not creepy, but like oh my god, it's like I don't know, like on it. So it's stupid when I say this, but like, oh, it's a picture of a Gretzico, and he's just really protective.
He's putting in a safe every time.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
like, but it's
I would say that's creepy.
like I'm just saying, like something more endearing, like maybe not a picture, but like you know, something that like this means a lot to me, and it has to do with her. I really thought they were going to go in a route of that. And instead, no, their first inclination was exactly on the nose, and everyone was correct.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
And he's doing bad things.
Like, really bad things.
Yeah.
And then they're, like, trying to make it be like, oh, but look how he came around. It's like, no, he's too far gone at this point. He was willing.
He was very willing to do it.
He was willing to do it.
Yeah.
Like, there was no... And it was like, for what? Like...
He did it for a Gretzko. Or Retzko.
And then she slapped him. She's like, I didn't ask you to.
Yeah. I really enjoyed when she slapped him. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put that on a freaking loop.
Why did
bitch ass?
Why did Retzko release a Kamehameha?
No. Thank you, Hero, for that. Because I always thought her powers were like, it was like not really there. Like, it was like a metaphor for like, oh, I'm so angry.
I thought it was gonna be a
like
metaphor here.
Yeah,
too.
but like when she's like, oh, here's my freaking rage power. It's just like, what, you have fucking like a Dragon Ball Z ki blast, like fucking you're at the window, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what?
To be used when Haida's being a piece of shit.
Like, I thought it was a metaphor the whole time that she was like actually doing it, and he was like falling out of the window. I was like, still a metaphor, and then he like fell on the ground or whatever. I was like, okay, it's no longer a metaphor. She just fucking blasted him. What?
Yeah.
Like, where did you get this power?
When? Where? Like, what was this always part of the thing? Because it's just like, because you know, there's going to be those people like, well, actually, in season 1, she always showed that she had the power. And it's like, no, fuck, it seemed like it was a fucking thing. Like, fuck off. No, I ain't buying it.
Jax, Paleo got railed enough during the Bronies rant.
That wasn't my Paleo voice. My Paleo voice is lower and nasally. Like, Paleo, you know how I do your voice. Whatever. Like, Paleo's voice I do with love. This is one of those, like, well, actually, you know, shit like that. That's different. Like, that's different. Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, you know what? Retsuko, you just stay single. Haida, you just stay single. And I care. I'm like, why don't we start focusing on your girl, Fenico.
Yeah, Fenico. Why don't you just get with fucking Fenico?
At this point, I feel like my blood pressure goes down when she pops up on the screen. I'm like, oh, finally, someone reasonable.
Yeah.
I think, man, as much as Haida was a shitter, I think Fenico could put him in line or with the quickness. So I think they should go out.
He should. Or just like, you know,
I'd be like, Haida, just go out with Fenico, listen to what she says, make her happy, don't be a dick. Let's go. I don't know. Go somewhere. I know you're the title of the show, but like, go somewhere, please.
Right.
Yeah.
You need a timeout.
Seriously.
But like, so I guess the question is, do you guys see this as a potential weakness in the show, or does it keep you invested?
No, I thought the season was terrible. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, thank you, Hero. Yeah, I fucking hated this season. Besides the tone stuff, I did not like this season at all.
I didn't even like the tone stuff. In fact, that pissed me off.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, why the fuck, of all fucking people in the fucking world, like, at this point, I'm like, you know what, she deserves all the shit that she gets, and all the shit that she got. When you go, you know who I'm gonna hire out of pity? Yeah, Pigman. It's like this guy. Like
the guy
I get
who emotionally abused me at work for years.
Right, I get that. Oh, but he did. You know, he was. It's just such a weird fucking thing when it's like, behind the scenes, he's actually a good person. It's like,
no,
but that doesn't justify. That doesn't make you go, oh, it's all understandable now. It's like, no.
Well, I think like also what to go about it, because I saw like a video like topic on this where like I was like, oh, that's actually true. Like some people like have different like tiers of like what they go through with shit. Like it's like not condoning or anything like that, but it's like, you know, for instance, like there would be like someone who does something that's like stupid, like it's just like, oh wow, that's fuck you. No, fuck you. I don't care if you try to redeem this character, I will never forgive you. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. And they gradually tried to do it. And then like there's other characters where it's like, oh, you can see it, like they're doing that, and like they've done that in My Hero Academia with like several characters, and it's just like, yeah, I would never forgive this person. Oh fuck, that's got really fuck. Oh shit. Okay, so or they'll do it like in like other series where it's like, I would never forgive it, like fucking no, I almost spoil some for other series. You'll see when it happens, but like there's just like certain things where people go like, no, that just I don't care what they try to do, you can't redeem them. But for some people, they can go, oh, I can see that, I can see you trying and do that sort of thing. So I think for like this was one of those situations where for people it's like mixed on, like from what I've been reading on it, because I've just been like curious on it, because because you're valid, and if you're like, yeah, fuck that guy, and you're valid if you're like, oh, I can see that thing. So that's how I see it.
Almost as if people can have different opinions.
Yeah. Exactamundo. Exactamundo.
The fuck? That's a thing?
Exactly. You have different opinions. It's fine.
Twitter lied to me.
Nah, it's. Again, like my frustration with it is like it's one thing for her to be like, you know what, he actually did us a solid, I'm gonna hire him, but then he immediately goes back into his like fuck you mode, and I'm like, no, you are his employer at this point. You start setting boundaries. He doesn't get to do this. And if he does, at this point you go, I give you a chance. Bye.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just.
Nathaniel in the chat saying taking that picture was kind of a lame move, and I think that was regarding Fenico. Taking the picture of Haida and what's her face?
Mexico?
No, and the deer lady. I forget her name right now.
Oh.
The girl that was hanging all over him.
Tsunoda.
Tsunoda.
Yeah, Tsunoda. You know what? I don't know. If I was seeing some girl hanging over a girlfriend of mine's boyfriend, I would have been like, hey, look what your boyfriend's just letting happen. I don't know. Owen, he wasn't really doing anything to stop the situation.
No, he was not.
Anime Guy went sends a super chat saying, in Japan, being moved into an office by yourself with almost no work is a punishment in Japan, but it sounds almost like a dream in America. Then boredom.
Yep.
I'll be honest.
I'm getting paid doing nothing? Hell yeah.
Right?
Living the dream.
Wait, but like, yeah, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, an
like
office
his
by...
whole thing is like, oh, you show up and you just sit in a room and do nothing all day. I'm like, yo, I'm bringing my computer, I'm bringing my video games, I'm bringing books. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'll do all of my... Yeah, exactly. And I'm getting...
I'll learn how to knit.
But I wonder if that's another cultural thing. And like, I'm not saying there aren't people in every culture like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like there's, you know, people that I work with that it's like you'll hear. So you know, we just got over or got through the holidays, and it drives me nuts. And I feel like it's this thing that, like, I can only speak for the people that I'm hearing doing it. So it's these, you know, the older guys, and some of them were like, oh yeah, like before leading into the holidays, were like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to have 2 weeks off. and then they take their 2 weeks off, right? And then they get back and they start talking amongst themselves, going, yeah, that's just too much. I just nothing to do, and it's just and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you fuckers! Like with this whole mindset that like oh yeah, I had nothing I could keep myself busy with. I'm like, how are you gonna retire someday?
That's the thing. Most people don't do well in retirement because they go from 60 to 0, and that's hard on the brakes.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And
I know some people like that exactly, where it's like they will like work their entire life and then retire, and then they just get so fucking bored.
That's why my Aunt Debbie and Uncle Horace, they I think I said this on the podcast before, but like my Aunt Debbie, she's my aunt that won a scratch ticket lottery of like $300,000 or something.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not retiring at all because like they're in their late 60s, and the thing is like a lot of also especially that generation do not have any hobbies other than like, building stuff, and then once they're done with that, they're like, what do I do now? They don't know what to do with their time.
Exactly.
So they just work.
Yeah, no, and it, like I said, it drives me crazy when like to me, when I hear somebody go on and be like, oh yeah, it's too much time off. And I'm like, there is no such thing as too much time off unless you're fired and you're not getting paid. That's a different scenario. Oh, we're going to give you a lot of time off. Oh, shit. It like, I don't know. I feel, I get that I might be more of an anomaly, I guess, to some of the working class, in that I'm constantly in a state of having to figure out my vacation time to make all the stuff that I do outside of work. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's just when I hear that, I don't want people to adopt to that like mindset where they're like I'm hoping that's a mindset that's going away. The whole I have
until you die.
Yeah, I have nothing better to do. I might as well have been at work.
Right, yeah. And it's just like, again, like Paleo said, it's just like people need to find hobbies that give them joy. Because I know that is just one of those situations for so many people where like work was the only thing that gave them purpose in life. And when they finish that, it's just like, why am I here? What am I doing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing here. So it's just like you need to find that hobby or something to keep your like brain active so you can do stuff.
You're absolutely right. Like that's another weird thing, right? Is that there are people out there who work and work and work, and then they retire. There's plenty of stories about this where someone retires and then like within a year they're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like yeah, I don't know. Maybe we all grew up with this beneficial thing. Sometimes it doesn't seem so beneficial, but the internet, where with, I don't know, it just seems like, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know if I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna.
No, because it's like, because I know what you're saying. Because like the reason a lot of people, because I've been so fascinated about this, because I've actually done a couple videos like talking about like health and longevity and stuff like that, and that is like a thing that so many people don't realize is just like it sneaks up on you if like you're not active. So for example, if you're at work or something like that, you're like mentally stimulating like your brain, you're moving around like physically and stuff like that, and you're like doing all this stuff just to keep you engaged. Like you have to like be engaged to, you know, maintain your work. And so when people go away from their work, they're not engaged. And so like what happens when they come home? All right, so they sit on the couch and they like, you know, they just sit, veg out, watch TV or something like that, or they just like, you know, they sit on the internet scrolling every day or something like that. Like they don't do anything like that, some really getting their body to move as frequently as it was moving. And then this is a thing with people that I always tell my clients and stuff like that is like like moving around gives you more energy. Like that's an inverse thing, because so many people think like, oh, if I sit down I'll get more energy. Like no, like the way our body works is like if you are like sitting most of the day, like, or you're on your ass most of the day, you're going to be tired like than a person who's active. So for example, like what happens to a lot of average people is you get up you sit down, you eat breakfast. You get up, you sit down in your car, you drive to work. You get up, you sit down at work for like, 9 to 5 if you do that. Then you come home, oh, I was at work all day, I need to relax. I sit down and I watch TV. And then they always act like, why am I so tired all the time? It's because they're barely moving around. They're barely doing it. And then like there's all this like cool stuff about like mitochondria and cell stuff that I'm not going to get into, but like it is very much a thing of like if you're not being active as much and doing like engaging your brain and doing all that stuff, you will make yourself like lose a lot of energy, and then just like your body will start to shut down in areas, and it's sad to see for people.
Yeah,
your body knows you need the energy, therefore it makes more. Because oh shit, he's using it. They're moving.
Yeah, exactly.
So to I guess reel it back in though. Any other thoughts on Agretsuko season 4?
Terrible season. Hopefully they make a better one in the 5th one.
What did you think?
In my opinion.
It was fine. It was frustrating as hell, but we binged it, so it's watchable.
Was that your first time watching it too?
No, I watched it before I shared it with you, but.
So you had to sit through it twice?
Yeah.
Was it just as frustrating the second time?
Yeah.
Redeeming value to it the second time around. Now that you had seen where it went.
I'm sorry. I actually.
He was sleeping.
Speaking of energy, my energy just crashed hard, and I actually like closed my eyes and went to sleep. So.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're talking about the season 4 of Agretsuko.
I think it's kind of frustrating that.
Haida exists.
Well, you're not talking about the Haida stuff, but like Retsuko, where she's like in previous seasons, man, I wish I could be financially independent. And in this season, she's like, oh, I'll hire Tom by using my YouTube channel. It's got 50 million subscribers. That's a job, right? And I'm like, bitch. Like, how do you not know this? Like, that was such a weird solution. Like, I know it's called back to season 3, but I'm like, why are you working at your job? You're like a sensation. Go
right
fans and do some feet pics and call it a day.
Just like Saberspark.
Some paw pick.
But then I think Tone's story though, like halfway through the season, I'm like, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you, Saber.
The generational boomer, like he comes from a different era, and the show's talked about that with like the old school versus the new, and you kind of it's such a weird sensation. Because you feel bad for somebody who you shouldn't feel bad for.
I don't. Fuck Tone.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
Well,
I'm with you, Saber. It got me. It was one of those situations that like made me go, "Fuck." All right, like that's okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I can feel bad for his kids without feeling bad for him.
His kids cracked. But,
yeah, Daddy, we need to do this.
That's just those are my thoughts.
Cool.
The Haida thing is frustrating. I feel it feels very sloppy, and if they keep dancing around season 5 with the will they not, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, get off the pottery shit. I don't know, something, because it's getting
annoying.
Get off the
shit or get off.
It's only so long you listen to someone whine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it just at some point it feels like you're watching the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's repetitive.
I guess my ending question is, how did y'all interpret the ending of this season by way of like Haida and Retsuko being on like friendly terms? Do you think that's another ramp up to, like if they're in a relationship or if they're just, friends from work?
I think, in my opinion, that I'm hoping that it just stays like you love and you learn sort of thing, where it's just like, he's a good friend. I am Haida, able to get over it. But I have like this just gnawing feeling that they're just gonna try and like lead up to it, and then like that'll be the finale. Is like, oh, they finally get together or some shit like that, and it's just like that's what I don't want at the point. It's one of those moments where it's like Paleo can agree with this. Like Adventure Time did this masterfully with this relationships, where it's like, oh, Finn, you're gonna get with this, or oh no, that's fucked up. You're toxic. This is fucked up. No. And then like you see him go through these different relationships, and it's like, oh, that one actually seems good for you. Like it works with it. That works so much better for Bubblegum for her and Marshall and stuff like that. And so I hope they can do that sort of thing, but I feel like they're just gonna go the generic, like, oh, they're gonna get together.
I think the season should end with some kind of like the companies are gonna get shut down, and it actually does at the end, and then everybody has to go their own separate ways, and maybe we see a time skip or something, and Retsuko's happy thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
Full of regular show.
Right, there you go. I mean, yeah, I maybe Haida and Retsuko might be like they go from it, where it's like Haida, you don't need her, she doesn't need you. Like, it just seems so pathetic at a certain point where it's like, Haida, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I want to see in the next season, I want it to end with Haida putting Retsuko back in the hospital and trying that strategy again.
Oh God!
Hey, now that I got you here, hear me out.
He just turns out to be the villain.
There was a villain in the show. I want Retsuko to end up with Tome.
that would be a story. That'd be a horrifying story for me. Yeah, my Stockholm syndrome just kicked in. Oh God.
I'm fine with them like being friends or whatever, but I feel like season 4 is just proof that they're just not good as a couple together.
Right.
Unless they do some major like self-reflections and working on themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfectly put.
Well, that's gonna wrap up our Retsuko conversation. Yeah. And Sarah's like, probably laughing a little bit because she's like earlier. She's like, oh, maybe we should give some more time to Q&A. And you know. So just a reminder.
One whole question.
Just a reminder for everybody. The Semi-Perfect podcast is going to be moving from the ACRacebest channel that it's airing here live. It will be for all the future podcasts on the Semi-Perfect podcast channel. Yeah. Sounds like it almost makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So don't forget about that. We are going to be moving it there. Now, let's do like 5 minutes of Q&A. So if anyone's got like a question they really want to ask, we will absolutely get to anything that is submitted through Super Chat. And I can't make any promises for the others, but I will say, as a reminder, next week we are going to be having another podcast, so we're going to have less of a catch-up deal and probably less topics for us to hit upon. So
then we can do more questions.
We can do more questions, and who knows, maybe we'll goof around or something with that episode. If we don't have a lot of topics, maybe we can, I don't know, play games or something.
Okay.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you giving me the eye?
What games are you talking about?
You know, Sarah, we need to communicate.
Okay. Waddles asks on Twitter, thoughts on the trailer for the Cuphead show?
Have I seen it?
I don't think you've seen it.
Okay.
Because I haven't shown it to you. But I am pumped. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be fun.
I'm excited to play the game someday. It seems real charming and fun and low stakes.
Fun to play
for
with
now.
two people.
It's a pretty chill time.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that someday. I think that'd be good. Well, actually, if there's
if you actually, I would argue that co-op is much harder than single player in Cuphead.
Oh, we'll do co-op. I can promise you that.
We're gonna test our mirrors.
Yeah. Apparently. Now, here's my question though. The show's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Which means we'll have to get Cuphead out.
Yeah.
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 We did get a super chat.
From Nathaniel Foga. How did you feel about the new boss character in season 4? Piece of shit. I didn't.
What, the one who lifts? Fuck him.
Yeah. I know. He's not a good person.
Rise and grind.
Yeah, I mean, I think at first it was like, oh, kind of a new blood situation, and oh, maybe this guy's on to something. And then
let's just fucking fire everybody. That solves the problem.
I didn't completely mind when he went
They're not here
after.
to cause any more problems.
Well, I don't know. You know how? Yeah.
And then we'll, fake the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corporate America.
That was a very bold move for someone who had just become.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what we should do? Something illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we got as far as questions.
Did we ask the super chat?
Yeah. Didn't we? Wait, did we just...
Right there.
The bottom?
My bad.
Yeah, we just did.
I'm sorry.
Let's see here. Kevin asks on Twitter if the ponies had access to our massive collection of music, what would you think Starlight's reaction to Starlight from the Star Set and Evanescence's songs? I'm sure she'd like them.
That is very specific.
That's very specific. I'm sure she'd like them.
She would probably be like, "Wow, this is cool."
And then the second
I thought that question was going to be much more broad than that.
Yeah. And then the second part of this question is, what are your favorite songs from the main show or Equestria Girls movies? Ooh.
Oh whoa, you didn't know that you fell. That one, I like that one.
Nice skill.
Yeah, Under Us fell.
Listen to the sound of my voice. Something like that. I don't know.
Dude, Rainbow Rocks is like so amazing.
Yeah, Rainbow Rocks is busted. It's like not fair how good it is.
Yeah.
I like the song that Spike sang at the Pony Olympics.
Oh God.
Oh my God, my brain glitched for a second. I was like, was he making a? Oh, I remembered it.
I think my favorite song is the one that Celestia sings to Twilight before she gets her wings.
You've come such a long.
It's a very I feel like it's a really underappreciated one.
I have that on my iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful song.
Really good.
That is a very beautiful song.
Oh,
my MP3 player.
I have it on cassette.
Something I was thinking about, like yesterday, was I was like I retweeted like some pony art or whatever, and I saw like somebody like it. I was like, oh, I didn't know that person liked ponies, and then I remembered, oh, wait a minute, I've actually known that person because of the pony stuff. And I was like, I sometimes forget. Like, there's like, oh yeah, we started there.
That's how we began. Never forget your roots.
So that happens to me sometimes with the convention vlogs, where like there'll be a moment where someone's like, I'm blank, and at the time it was like, oh cool, nice to meet you, and then you realize like going back to something from like 2013 or 2014 and realizing it's someone who still interacts with you on Twitter, and you're like, oh my God, you've been around for a long time.
That is funny. Like when you deep search like your tweets, like you go back to like 2013 or something like that, and then you see like someone who was like following you then, and they're still following you. It's like, damn, you've seen me like go through every phase of like.
Yo, the React had some of those comments where it was people being like, man, I remember watching the first Bronies React when I was in elementary school, and I'm 18 now, and I'm just like,
my own car. I drove here to the convention.
Or like when they come up to you at the convention and it was like, yo, you probably don't remember me because I was like 5 the last time I met you or like some shit. And it's like, I'm this age. It's like, you're a fucking grown up now. What the? When? Why? What?
Yeah. We're all getting old and it's wonderful.
Dragon says, I meant to slip it in my food post, but I made a meme that's likely relatable. So let's go to Twitter. Let's find it. I've got it here. Let me just put up the Twitter screen. Twitter screen. Let's see. Tagged it on my food post, but you missed it. So bam, a meme that I made that makes myself mad due to how true it is. This is where I'd put my season box sets of MLPFIM if Hasbro would make them.
Have they not made season box sets?
Not since 6.
Shit, are you serious? I still got season 1 on fucking DVD.
Yeah, I'm hoping that someday they'll like do a complete series. A complete series like.
Of course you do. Wow, they're getting the Chippendale Rescue Ranger treatment.
Yeah.
So, guys, don't worry. At our rate, you'll get them in about
25,
26 years from
maybe
now.
30 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's also some news regarding like you know how they were saying like, oh yeah, MLP is going to be leaving Netflix.
Yeah.
Not all of it did. Just like seasons 5 through 8. So it's only the first 4 seasons on.
They
Netflix.
did that before though. Like they did that before, where they took off the first couple seasons, but they left like 2 in the middle. But then like they decided no, that's stupid, and they put them all back. But then they never put season 9 up, so it was just season 1 to 8. But like that was weird.
There might be some like contracts with like other streaming services right now to where they can't have them all on at the same time at the moment. But I have a feeling that Hasbro might work something out to have like all of the show on there, since they're doing G5.
Right.
Stupid lawyers.
Uh-huh.
Say that again.
Quiet Storm sends a question on Twitter saying, considering the change of where SPP will be, what is the first place SPP streamed on? I believe it was Saber's Twitch for the first couple of years. I think he would be right. It was on Saber's Twitch, and then he handed it to me, which then we put it on my Twitch for a little while. I forget.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. And then we decided to move it to the ACRacebest channel.
Yeah, I think Paleo was like, you know what's a good idea?
Yeah.
Because I think Paleo had done that with his podcast.
Right.
Is moving it to YouTube.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, there's super chats
so
there.
It's moved quite a few times in the past years.
This will probably be
the last move.
Probably. But yeah, it's like we mentioned, it's going to help us. And again, if you missed it, it's moving to the Semi-Perfect Podcast YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And before we move it to TikTok Plus in 2017.
See, that's why I'm hesitant to say that this is the last move.
Well, now that we all got our Neuralinks, we can just upload the Semi-Podcast right to our brain cells.
Our brainwaves. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. I want to thank everyone for joining us here live tonight, and everybody watching on delay on the Semi-Perfect Podcast YouTube channel, now the home of the live viewings of the Semi-Perfect Podcast. So, yeah, again, when you guys show up, and again, not 2 weeks, 1 week from now, we will be back with the podcast, and probably hit up a lot of questions there, and like I said, who knows, maybe we'll play some games or something. So yeah, we'll have fun with it. Don't miss it. Want to thank all of our super chatters.
Yeah, Dragon Buckner, Nathaniel Foga, Anime Guy 01, For Canyon, Nora Mermaid, and Hirosashii, and Cheyenne's audio tapes. And I think that is all of them for today. Thank you so much for your super chats. Appreciate it.
Right.
So yeah, and that is going to be a wrap. Thanks to our podcasters for joining. Now, again, we will be back in 7 days. We will be that's all, folks.
On February 9th.
February 9th. So yeah, we will see you guys 1 week from now, and then it'll continue back on its regular every other week.
Yep.
And we will see you on the Semi-Perfect Podcast YouTube channel from this point forward. If you follow us on Twitter, you'll see the links posted. It'll all make sense. In the event that you don't, you should. But in the event that you don't, that's why we're trying to make sure nobody shows up. I'm on the ACRacebest channel. Where is it?
Right.
Just keep hitting refresh on the Bronies rack. That's all. Refresh. Maybe we'll pop up. But yeah, we'll see you next time on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, guys.